Joining me today is the managing partner of Kilohana Plantation on Kauai, Fred Atkins. The company was able to secure $800,000 in small business administration loan through the Paycheck Protection Program, the PPP. What is this company? Tell us a little bit about it.
Kilohana Plantation, we took it over in 1985. It was a plantation. A general manager ran Grow Farm Sugar. It was 12,000 acres, went to 22,000, and we converted into a visitor local attraction, and it grew up over the years. We have 104 acres, and we have a beautiful home, 16,000 square feet with Gaylord's Restaurant, and we have Kauai Plantation Railway, Luau Kalamaku, Kaloa Rum is their tasting room is on property. So it just kind of grew up over the years, fun project.
Yeah, definitely one of the hardest hit companies because it caters to our tourism and visitor population. And I know you are one of the recipients of the much coveted protective PPP loans, right? So tell us about what you plan to do with it. What are some of the action that you're taking to help our community here?
Yeah, the government came out with that 2 point something trillion, and we were fortunate. We had about 160 people when we closed, and it's given us an opportunity to bring a good portion of those people back to work. We need to stay at home to be lifted, and hopefully that'll be lifted soon, because we can do a lot of repurposing. We have large venues with the luau and stuff, so we have a lot of employees that can't really fit the job description, but they may be a waiter in the evening, it might be an electrician during the day. So we're doing repurposing of a lot of our employees so they can come back and help us on the 104 acres. Some will be working on our train cars, some will be working cleaning areas in the kitchens that needed it. And they're kind of quite excited to get back out of the house and get to work.
Yeah, and I know one of the challenges is trying to follow the guidelines that the Treasury set out and the SBA, but again, it's such a new program, right? So what are you having to do on your end in terms of juggling all of these numbers and the payroll, making sure you as a business gets through this?
Yes, we're supposed to be funded either today, tomorrow, or Monday, and you're supposed to put them right back to work after you get the funding, and it goes to June 30th. The biggest problem on the guidelines is that there's not a concrete set of guidelines. We can't find it from the bank. We can't find it from SBA because it was a work in progress. They did this in 2 weeks, and I think they really had it intended that would be up and running in 2 months. So there's a lot of calculations you need to do about how many are full-time, how many weren't, how many do you have to hire back if you're looking at it as a grant, okay? And we are. A lot of people are just looking, saying, look, we don't really need the grant. We need the loan. We need that 1%. Fortunately, over the years, we have enough capital cash flow that it only works for us if we get most, if not all of it, back as a grant. Okay, so I've been on a lot of webinars and talked to a lot of different people. As of today, the banks still cannot answer, and they talk to SBA on a daily basis, some of our questions that we have. So it's very tough. I've never signed on a loan document that I didn't know exactly what I was signing. So that's probably the biggest challenge. I think they say on April 26th, there's going to be more information. So I'm just hoping the government knows that we're doing the best we can, and they haven't got their act totally together. They're trying, because I don't think it was geared as much to the visitor industry as it was for just straight business.
Yeah, and this is an interesting point that you made to me about the insurance involved for businesses like yourself. This really is a disaster. It may not be a physical disaster for our businesses like hurricanes and things like that, but tell us briefly about kind of these other options that you had before that aren't available anymore.
Sure, yeah, I would call it, this is an economic hurricane. And so we've always had interruption insurance. Fortunately for us, in '92, we had a NIKI. We were closed a year. Our interruption insurance covered our key people, covered the physical damage, covered all of our other costs, where we closed, our marketing costs, everything. And then we were closed a year. And when we opened, they took the last 3 years prior, and they figured out what we made as a profit, and they wrote us a check. So it covered all that. So to go into this, viral disaster, basically, without any help from the insurance company is devastating. And I know of so many businesses that are right on the verge that didn't get the PPP. Hopefully they get the second round. If they don't, they won't be in business. And right now I'm disappointed with insurance because they haven't done anything. It's different. I understand their position, They, it's not like Kauai only got hit last time and Maui didn't. Everyone got hit, but not to do one thing. The government stepped up, the loans, the banks have stepped up. They said, look, we're going to defer this, defer that, but not to have our insurance company say, hey, we want to help in some way. We can't do, I had it for a year and a half. And I had it for 2.5 million. I bought the premium. I paid over $1,200,000, since the Niki, so I could rest. I could take care of my people, I knew I'd come back. I don't know that because they've said the government took care of us. We have this 2 months. That's not a year, not 12 months, not even a year and a half. So I'm not sure what it's going to bring. We can't open. We're large volume. Every one of our venues is large. And we don't know what kind of restrictions you're going to have on restaurants, luau's, train rides. And even if they don't have any, I don't know, we're going to probably need 40 to 50% occupancy on this island before we can return. So I know a lot of our people are going to have to go back on unemployment, which is a shame. It breaks my heart to do it one time. It's going to break my heart to do it 2 times. So it's a question that every small business that really knew they needed protection that had it. But, after SARS, they slipped in what's called pandemic insurance. And unfortunate thing, they didn't even give us an opportunity to buy it, right? So we couldn't buy it, and now we're not protected. And they're not stepping up like so many of our other industries have. Car insurance are rebating people, right? That's fair. What are they doing? Nothing. And it's disappointing when you pay that kind of money. $1.2 million is a lot of money to try to say, hey, every year I'm doing what it needs to take care of my landlord's home and my employees, the good percentage of them. And so I don't know what the future brings, but we're fighting and we appreciate the government's help.
Yeah, Fred, I talked to Sherry about this with the chamber about what other resources are there for people who may not be eligible for PPP, for a lot of these federal grants. You just said insurance was out of the question. What else is out there for, our businesses? 96% of our businesses out here. Yeah,
there's not a lot left. The government, again, on unemployment day, added that $600. That's really good. It's a challenge for us to bring some of our people back because they're saying, hey, we're making more on, our unemployment plus the 600, so we don't really want to come back.
But only for 2 months, right?
Only for 2 months, but some of them are looking at the longer picture, and hopefully we get enough people. But they're looking out for themselves too. So it's the government put us in a really hard position. What would have been a better plan would have given us this money when we did reopen. So, we'd have a chance, because when we open, I can't open until I know I won't lose more money than staying closed. When it costs $100,000 to stay closed and it might cost you $200 to open, what are you going to do? Right. So if we could have had the PPP plan when it opened, and having a lot of that payroll expense, then that would have helped us to the 3rd or 4th month, use that savings from payroll to make sure we didn't, once the visitor industry opens, not to have to lay them off again. That would be the 3rd heartbreak, and probably much more than I could handle. Yeah. Kilohana's been very successful, but it's because of our employees. And that's the ones I'm fighting for right now. I'm fighting to have, our mayor open up to us again, not to visitors. We're not ready, but to our community, to get our, even our construction industry is limited. You only have 2 contractors go to a house, and the owner has to be there. So those kind of restrictions need to be released. We need to see if we can take care of ourselves. And as Kurt Caldwell said yesterday, we will be the first one to open. To ourselves, I totally agree. To the visitor, no, it's got to come through Honolulu. Our direct flights are not going to be coming at the amount that we would need to open as an island. So there's a lot of challenges, but we've been through them before. I've been here with Eva, and I've been through it with Niki. Kauai got a lot of aloha. People care about their ohana, and we'll make it. It's just how long is it going to be and how tough a road.
Yeah, very tough. But again, thank you so much, Fred,
Sure.
for sharing your story. It's always good to see what's happening also on the neighboring islands.
A good person was Sherry Menard. Let me tell you that. She's going to be, she's on our HCA board, and she's going to fight for the business people. So
yeah, for sure. I know there's not much state programs also for small businesses like
no, hopefully with a lot of this federal, the billions that came in on the federal side, maybe some block grants, who knows? I hope they do that. That's a lot of money, $4 billion. So if that's put to good work for the people, then maybe these people filter through all these cracks, they'll have a safety net.
All right. Well,
Thanks for having me. I appreciate
Fred
it.
Atkins, thank you so much for joining us from Kauai.